2 years, terminal coding agents have had one obvious default: Claude Code. Powerful, polished, and priced like the enterprise tool it is. This week, that default got its most serious challenger yet: Moonshot AI, the lab that just launched Kimi K3. The model blind testers ranked #1 for front-end code, ahead of Claude Fable 5. Also shipped something quieter alongside it: Kimi Code CLI, an open-source coding agent for your terminal, free to install, Apache licensed, and trending on GitHub right now. And here's the detail almost nobody is talking about, the one that made me stop and rewrite this video. You don't even have to leave Claude Code to use it. 3 environment variables, and Kimi's model runs inside the exact workflow you already have. So today, what Kimi Code CLI actually is, 3 ways to set it up in minutes, what free genuinely means once you read the pricing pages, the one feature Claude Code doesn't have an answer for, and then the honest limits section, including a serious consideration about where your code travels that every developer deserves to hear stated plainly. As always on this channel, the enthusiasm and the caveats in the same video. Let's open the box. Kimi Code CLI lives at Moonshot AI/Kimi-CLI on GitHub. Open source under Apache 2.0, one of the most permissive licenses there is. It's a terminal-first autonomous coding agent, which means the same job description as Claude Code. It reads your code base, plans multi-step tasks, edits files, runs shell commands, searches the web, and works until the task is done. Not just autocomplete, but a colleague in your terminal. It supports MCP tools, and it integrates with VS Code, Cursor, and Zed if the terminal isn't your home. The engine underneath is the reason to take it seriously. Kimi's coding models have been climbing all year, and with K3 per Arena's blind developer testing, the family took first place in front-end code evaluation ahead of every closed American flagship. Whatever you think of any single benchmark, the direction is unmistakable. This is no longer a budget imitation. It's a frontier-class engine with a free, open agent wrapped around it. Now, setup. 3 paths, pick your personality. Path 1, the native way. Pip install Kimi-CLI, type Kimi, and a browser window opens to log into your Moonshot account. Credentials stay stored locally. That's the whole ceremony. You're talking to an agent in your terminal in about 2 minutes. And it's worth saying what that agent handles in practice. Describe a feature, and it plans the steps, opens the right files, writes the changes, runs your tests, reads the failures, and fixes them. The full loop, unsupervised, until it reports back. Path 2, the editor way. Connect it inside VS Code, Cursor, or Zed, or use tools like Klein with Moonshot selected as the provider. Best if your workflow lives in an editor with tool-based file edits. Path 3, and this is the fascinating one, the Trojan horse way. Kimi's API speaks the Anthropic-compatible format, which means per Moonshot's own documentation, you can point Claude Code itself at Kimi's endpoint. Set the base URL, the auth token, and the model name. 3 environment variables. And your familiar Claude Code interface is suddenly running Kimi's model underneath. Same commands, same muscle memory, different engine, different bill. You keep the workflow you love and swap what powers it. That's a genuinely clever piece of strategy, and it tells you exactly who Moonshot is aiming at. Which brings us to the money, and because free is doing several different jobs in this story, and precision matters here. The CLI itself, genuinely free and open source, forever. Using it needs a model behind it, and there are tiers. There's a free usage tier with daily limits, enough to evaluate it seriously, per the developer guides. Then pay as you go through Moonshot's platform. A $1 minimum deposit activates an account, and there's currently a promotion where $5 of cumulative spend earns a $5 bonus voucher. The Kimi Code membership adds managed plans with 2 speed modes, standard and a high-speed tier that runs roughly 5 to 6 times faster, with output up to 100 tokens per second and quotas in the range of 300 to 1,200 requests per 5-hour window. But here's the honest pricing nuance most coverage skips. The shiny new K3 is not the bargain. At roughly $3 per million input tokens uncached and 15 per million out, industry reporting puts its blended cost around $12 per million, closer to American mid-tier pricing than to the deep discounts Chinese models are famous for. The value play is the dedicated coding model, K2.7 code, dramatically cheaper with a 256,000 token context, and in independent hands-on testing, it trades blows with Claude's mid-tier, better on algorithm-heavy benchmark tasks and multi-file refactors, weaker on subtle single-shot bug fixes. Roughly Sonnet-tier coding for a fraction of the price is how one 2-week side-by-side review summarized it. So the smart configuration is K2.7 for the everyday 80%, and your premium model reserved for the 20% that genuinely needs deep reasoning. That hybrid alone can collapse a serious monthly AI bill. Now, the feature that makes this more than a discount story, Agent Swarm. Kimi Code CLI can coordinate parallel subagents, not 2 or 3, but by the documentation's account, hundreds working simultaneously on a decomposed task. One agent maps the repository, while others refactor separate modules, write tests, and check documentation in parallel. Claude Code has subagents too, but swarm-scale parallelism as the headline feature is a different philosophy. Throughput over deliberation. For large mechanical changes across big codebases, renames, migrations, test generation, that's precisely the shape of work where a swarm shines. And now the section this channel owes you. 4 honest limits. Limit 1, and the serious one, where your code goes. The CLI is open source, but the default inference happens on Moonshot's cloud. Moonshot is a Beijing-based company, which means, as one careful reviewer put it plainly, when you point your tools at their endpoint, your code travels to servers in China. For personal projects and open source work, that may not concern you at all. For corporate code bases, this is not a vibes question. It's a data residency and compliance question. And if your organization's policies restrict where proprietary code can be processed, the hosted path simply isn't an option for you. No judgment either way on this channel, but you deserve the facts stated clearly because most videos this week aren't stating it. Limit 2. The escape hatch exists, but it's work. Kimi's models are open weight. You can download K2.7 and run it yourself through VLLM or similar stacks, keeping every byte on your own hardware. That's the same AI you own path this channel keeps coming back to, and it fully solves Limit 1, at the cost of hosting it yourself. Limit 3. Reasoning ceiling. Across independent testing, Claude Code retains the edge on complex architectural decisions and subtle debugging, and the new K3, for all its ranking glory, has an appetite. One respected reviewer measured a single graphics test consuming over 16,000 output tokens. Fast rankings and efficient builds are not always the same thing. Limit 4. Ecosystem maturity. Claude Code has years of tutorials, integrations, and enterprise mileage. Kimi Code CLI is younger, and its documentation and community are, understandably, strongest in Chinese. It's improving fast. But today, when you get stuck, the trail of Stack Overflow answers is thinner. So who is this actually for? If you're a solo developer or a small team watching an AI bill grow every month, this is the most credible, keep the workflow, cut the cost option that has ever existed, especially through that 3-variable Claude Code swap, which makes trying it a 10-minute, fully reversible experiment. If you're in a company with data residency policies, the hosted path is off the table, and your version of this story is the self-hosted open weights. And if your daily work is deep architectural reasoning, keep the premium model in the loop. The hybrid, not the replacement, is the professional move. Step back, and the bigger pattern is the one we've tracked all month. First, the models went open, then the prices collapsed. Now the agents, the actual tools developers live in, are going open too, and they're arriving polite enough to plug into the competitor's own interface. The moat used to be the model, then it was the price. Increasingly, the last moat is trust. And trust is exactly what every limit in this video was really about. So here's my question for you, and I'll pin it below. What would it actually take for you to switch your daily coding agent? A price? A benchmark? Or is trust in where your code goes the real deciding factor? Working developers, I read everything. Your answers steer the follow-up. Every source, the repository, the official docs, the pricing pages, and the independent reviews I quoted is linked in the description so you can verify every claim yourself. That's the standard on this channel. If you want the tools everyone else hypes, explained with the caveats included, every single day, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.